Hey guys, before we get going, I wanted to have a little Showgunny heart-to-heart with you, even though I'm about to be going into a lot of Jesus, America stuff. I want you to know that I firmly believe if we don't set everything else aside and put race first, we lose. So with that said, on with the show. Welcome to the Eagle's Edge, where we don't just speak the truth, we weaponize it. Showgun here, your guide through the rotting carcass of modern lies, here to resurrect the soul of this nation. Today, we're tearing into why the United States was forged into a white Christian fortress, a divine redoubt for what I keep being led to believe to be God's chosen race. It's possible, debate me, faggot, and why every degenerate from here to Tel Aviv wants it burned to ash. We'll march from 1776 to 1798 through every naturalization act, and I'll shove the genetic gospel of RNK selection so far down your throat, you'll be choking on the red pill. This ain't your grandpa's history lesson. It's more like a Molotov cocktail through the Overton window. It's now April of 2025, and the recent course of human events is making it quite clear that the Eagle's proverbial talons are out, and we're drawing blood. Imagine 1776, a gang of pale-faced, Bible-thumping madmen tell King George to shove his crown where the sun don't shine. These weren't some soy-sipping cosmopolitans. They were white Christian warlords drunk on God and grit. Jefferson penned in the Declaration, all men are created equal. Yeah, right, sure. Equal if you're a white landowner with a cross and a musket, not some loincloth savage or turban merchant. This wasn't a UN wet dream. It was a tribal pact for Japheth's sons, the white race, to carve a new Eden from the wilderness. George Washington, praying at Valley Forge, kneeling before the Almighty while men bleed out on the battlefield? This is a white Christian man. Adams said the Constitution is for a moral and religious people. Code for white Protestants that don't bow before popes and pagans. President Franklin calling for prayer at the convention because he knew this nation was a divine contract, not a social experiment. These guys weren't here to hug the world. They fled Europe's mongrels so they could build a pure stockade for their kin. The Articles of Confederation? A rough draft for white survival. Then the Constitution in '87. Article 1, Section 8, baby. Congress gets to gatekeep who's in. That's not a welcome mat. That's a drawbridge with a moat full of gators. They seen Rome fall to barbarians and Spain choke on Moors. They weren't about to let some dusky tide swamp their holy experiment. This was and still is a white Christian nation, period. Period, 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 period. About to pass out. For real though, I'm about to pass out. Anyone who says otherwise is a liar or a fool. I've got no patience left for either. March 26th, the first Congress, still reeking of gunpowder and ink, drops the Naturalization Act of 1790 like a guillotine on the neck of diversity. Citizenships for free white persons of good character, 2 years residency, oath to the Constitution. No Africans, no Indians, no cyanide traders. Just white men, preferably with a Bible and a plow. This wasn't a suggestion. It was a blood oath to keep America a Japhetic stronghold. And don't give me that melting pot crap. Free white persons meant Europeans, Anglos, Scots, Krauts, Protestants who bend the knee to Christ, not Rome or some mud hut idol. The founders weren't playing. Slaves couldn't apply, free blacks born here got nothing, and indentured servants were out. This was a eugenic filter, a middle finger to the third world. Congress didn't debate letting in Hottentots. They hoggled over how long a white man has to marinate before he was worthy. 2 years, boom, done. Why? Genesis 10, baby. Noah's son split the earth. Japheth's line, Europe, the white race, God's vanguard. Ham's, Africa, cursed to serve. And Shem's, Semites. A mixed bag, you could say. The founders didn't need Darwin. They had scripture and horse sense. That's old speak for don't be a fucking idiot. They seen Europe's monuments, cathedrals, laws, ships, invention. Then they looked at Africa's mud huts and Asia's stagnation. Case closed. 1790 wasn't just a law. It was a fortress, and we were its sentinels. Now let's get primal. R&K selection. The skeleton key to why white peoples are the apex. Ecology 101. R selected critters, like rats, pump out kids like a factory. Low investment, thrive in collapse. K selected, like eagles, fewer offspring, massive care, rule the skies. Whites, pure K selected, forged in Europe's frozen hellscapes. Science doesn't lie, unless of course it's some Jew or non cooking the books. J. Philip Rushton, that glorious heretic, mapped this out. Whites, high IQ, average 105, peaking in the late 120s to early 130s. Low time preference, tight families. K selected to the core. Compare that to R selected groups. Sub-Saharan Africans clock in at mid-60s. Polygamy galore, violence off the charts. I mean, I think we all kind of know by now they are the chart. Rushton's data is banned in polite circles. But numbers don't care about your feelings. Look at twin studies. Heritability of intelligence is 50 to 80%. White DNA's loaded with haplogroups like R1b or L1. Ice Age survivors who had to hunt, build, plan, pray. That's K strategy. Order over chaos. Tropical zones, R selection paradise. Breed fast, die young. No winners to weed out the weak. No wonder their societies are a mess. Mud huts and machetes don't make for a civilization. Another reason why I feel like we were chosen. I can't help but feel like we whites were blessed by the Almighty to discipline ourselves, to domesticate ourselves in the crucible of Europe. Monogamy, literacy, cathedrals. The founders didn't need a lab. They saw it. Puritan towns ran like clockwork. African tribes ate each other. Geneticists like David Reich trace European uniqueness back 40,000 years. Neanderthal admixture, cold adaptation. We're not just different. We're built to rule. Mixing R and K? That's a blender full of nails. Ruins everything. The 1790 Act knew it. Keep the gene pool white. Keep it K selected. Keep it Christian, if anything. Anything else is a downgrade. It's a betrayal of God's design. They want to call it hate. Fine. I'll call it truth, and I'll scream it till the cows come home. Naturalization Act of 1795. Tightening the noose, if you will. January 29, 1795. The naturalization of 1795 hits. Residency jumps to 5 years. 3-year intent notice. Still free white persons. But why the clampdown? The French Revolution's gone full psycho. Guillotines, godless mobs. And America's founders are sweating. John Adams is pacing, ranting about wild Irishmen and French lunatics, papists and atheists who would torch our Protestant soul. This wasn't about compassion. It was white Christian panic mode. Immigration's ticking up. Germans, Scotch-Irish. They're still white, they're still kidding. Congress didn't widen the gate. They bolted it tighter. 5 years to prove you're not a Jacobin plant? That's a loyalty test for K-selected elite, not some R-selected rabble. Like usual, Adams knew the score. Let in the wrong crowd, your Christian nation's a memory. 1795 was a flex. Keep the blood pure, keep the faith strong, or watch it all burn. June 18th, that's 200 years later. June 18th, 1798. This is the big one, guys. This is the big one. My fave. It's the big one, guys. This is the big one, guys. The Naturalization Act of 1798. Alien and Sedition Act's ugly stepchild. Cranking residency to 14 years. 5-year intent. Still free white persons. Still no mercy for the rest. This is John Adams on steroids, staring down war with France. La France, France. The quasi-wars got ships sinking and the French immigrants are looking shitty. Adams doesn't trust them, not the Irish, sneaking in with their rosaries and their whiskey. Fucking potato now. This act is a war cry. America is for white Christians, not foreign filth. Federalists saw the enemy. Papists, radicals, anyone who would dilute our stock. 14 years? That's a gauntlet. Prove you're one of us or get the fuck out. It's no coincidence. This hits as Europe's bleeding. Our founders weren't saving the world. They were saving their family, their faith, and their destiny. 1798 wasn't a law. It was a battle line and we're still fighting on it. In any one of my videos, I'm not saying anything new. Just about everything I talk about is factual, unbiased. Almost everything I say is not new. It's all factual, well-documented history, okay? That many honorable, courageous men and women have been speaking on for going on 80 plus years, particularly within the last decade or so, risking their lives in every way imaginable, especially in all these European countries. From 1776 to 1798, our founders didn't stutter. This is a white Christian nation built for the K-selected sons of Europe, God's elect. The Naturalization Acts weren't polite. They were a spiked club to the face of anyone who didn't belong. R and K selection prove it. We are wired to lead, to build, and to conquer, not grovel in some rainbow dystopia. And today they're tearing it down. Open borders, drag queens in schools. Even if it was once, that's one too many fucking times. A war on white skin and the cross. I'm getting it from you guys too. I'm getting it from my folk, my family. Like, how fucking dare you? And that's why I say it's race first. Because a faggot cucks that I call my kin. You either get it together and you put race first, or we're all fucking gone. We're all destroyed. We are dead in the water. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Our children's children will curse your fucking grave if you let My faith in Christ, somebody that came to save you, by the way, your ungrateful ass. If you let that get in the way, there's no words. There's no words. Shame. Shame. The greatest shame on you. That only K-selected groups really seem to understand inherently. Fuck off. Fuck right off. They hate us because they ain't us. They never will be. This is the Eagle's Edge. I am Sean the Showgun signing off. May Christ the King bless you, this nation, and the entire world, all of you. I want blessings for all of you. But there's only one way we get to success. It's going our separate ways, starting over, helping each other out from there, alright? But we have to get apart first, and we got to get everybody to understand why. Because the doing is easy once we all say yes. Once we all say yes, it's done. You know what? I'm not asking you to say yes to Christ. I'm not asking you to say yes to anything other than your race. That's it. That's it. And that is first. Everything comes second. Everything comes easy. I promise you. I swear it. I swear it. Because I love you. I love you all. And again, may Christ the King bless America. Good night. Showgunny reminder, race before religion, or we lose. All right.